So after a lot of anticipation, rumors, and speculation running wild, we finally got a Nintendo Direct Mini. Yes, rather than the more standard format, we got around a 14-minute, pretty much trailer montage of stuff coming to the Switch. But after all this pent-up hype, some people are feeling disappointed. Was this really worth it? Well, let's talk a bit about some of the stuff that they showed off. I'd actually like to start with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I'm so happy that this game is getting the port treatment. I felt like back on the Wii U, this one fell way too under the radar. I think I may have mentioned that I was worried about that in my original review of the game, actually. I would honestly put this at the very top of the heap in terms of game releases on the Wii U, perhaps even the very top. Not only solid, crisp, platforming action, beautiful environments, and the music. I'm just going to say it, best score of any game on the Wii U. But it also brought back that old school platforming difficulty, like you're going to die a lot probably. This is basically well, we'll get into that later. I'm assuming that's why they're adding Funky Kong as a playable character, so people who want to more so breeze through Tropical Freeze can. I mean, if you want to talk about OP, they said he has a double jump, hover, infinite corkscrew jet dash while underwater, and his surfboard can protect him from ground spikes. If you didn't pick up this title on the Wii U, first of all, what's wrong with you? Unless you didn't have the system. And second, there's no excuse now. While I'll probably buy Tropical Freeze again, the re-release of Hyrule Warriors is going to be a pass for me. Similar to Tropical Freeze, I'm glad people who didn't get to play it will get a chance to check it out. But coming off the heels of Fire Emblem Warriors, I'm not ready for another one of these games. For those on the fence about it, I highly recommend you check out the game's adventure mode. That's what I spent most of my time doing in the game, honestly, and I don't think a lot of the trailers and stuff really hype that up enough. The World Ends With You. This one kind of surprised me. It's one of those handheld games that I've always felt deserved a port to home console to have more people experience it, but because of the way the game played on the DS with the action happening on both screens simultaneously, I thought all hope might be lost when we didn't get it for the Wii U, but nope. It's coming to the Switch. I will say I'm hesitant about picking this up until I see a longer gameplay demonstration of it, because I'm not sure if they're going to be able to capture the original properly on a single screen, honestly. But still really excited that this is going to get a new release, and again, more people are going to be able to experience it. The Mario Tennis Aces announcement was probably the biggest surprise to me, in that I didn't think we'd be getting a new Mario Tennis so soon. I feel like no one talked about the one on the Wii U, and it didn't come out that long ago. So I was surprised we're getting another one so soon. I don't know if this is kind of a sneaky reskin or something like that of the Wii U one, because I didn't play the Wii U one at all, but they seem to really be stressing the fact that they were in proper tennis gear for some reason. Normally, this would probably be a pass for me, honestly. But again, this is why you do single-player content. They mentioned this game will have a story mode with bosses and stuff. So I was out, now I'm in. When the Switch was first revealed, and pretty much ever since then, I've been saying this thing needs RPGs, and then some more RPGs. Now, I feel like we're actually getting too many, at least for me to keep up with. I'm still playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Octopath Traveler is on the way, and we've got this. Ys 8 is coming to the Switch this summer. I've always loved the action combat and interesting ways the Ys series has evolved over the years, but 8 was one of those games that kind of fell through the cracks for me in terms of recent releases. I haven't picked it up. I was going to pick it up on the PS4, I just kind of didn't. Now I'm actually glad I didn't pick it up, because this is exactly the type of game I want to play on the Switch. The SNK Waifu Fighter, I'm not really a fan of the art style, since a lot of these games ditch sprites. I don't really like the 3D designs, and it sounds like it's going to be super casual, as the announcer said something like, pull off the moves with a single press of a button. If I'm going to play any upcoming 2D fighter, it's Dragon Ball FighterZ. Plus, I'll probably pick up that collection of Street Fighter games, so no thanks on that one. Payday 2 is also one that I'm personally not really pumped for. I get it, there's probably people looking to have that co-op FPS experience, especially playing over LAN on the Switch. I could see that being a lot of fun. But after we got Doom and knowing Wolfenstein 2 is on the way, that's enough FPS for me. As I've stated before, I'm not the biggest fan of the genre to begin with, but I prefer more of the single-player campaign type stuff, at least have a lot of it there if I am going to play one of these games. They went on about a bunch of titles getting DLC updates, which I'm a big fan of with Nintendo games as of late. Donkey Kong is coming to Mario plus Rabbids, more characters coming to Pokken, including Blastoise, which actually kind of interests me a bit. I haven't picked it up on the Switch, but Blastoise would be pretty cool. This Mario Odyssey balloon finding game looked pretty sweet, actually, where you hide balloons on the map and other players try to find them. There's leaderboards and all that. I could see that actually getting pretty addicting. We saw some indie stuff. Faye, I've actually been really interested in since the reveal, so I'm glad we got a release date on it. It's only about a month away, February 16th, so I'll definitely be getting that when it comes out. Then there were what I consider to be the two biggest things. First, Kirby. Kirby's true return to home console has been long awaited. Again, none of that gimmicky Rainbow Curse garbage here. Just straight up classic Kirby gameplay with up to 4 players cooperatively. I've actually been really anticipating this title's release since E3. So the only thing I wanted to see here was the release date, obviously. Thankfully, not that far away. March 16th is about what I was expecting, honestly, in terms of a release date for this game. So day one buy right there. And if you followed me throughout my coverage of the Switch, you probably know that multiple times I've mentioned some of my most wanted ports for this system are the Dark Souls games. Sure, I would have preferred more of a collection, but I'll take this Dark Souls Remastered as a start. I'll take that all day, in fact. I'm super hyped for this. Now, the game is coming to other platforms, no surprise, and with better graphics, higher frame rates and that. Also no surprise, and that's great for those platforms. That's great that those options are available. But I've been dying to be able to play these games on the go on the Switch. To me, this was a major announcement, even though it was a port. Not only just for the Dark Souls game itself, but the fact that if this performs well, we'll likely see more titles from Software make it over to the Switch in the future. So excited for that one. So actually there was quite a bit packed into this mini direct, in my opinion. A spackling of old and new stuff with some fairly decent surprises. In terms of things lacking that I was expecting, really only Yoshi and I guess Fire Emblem. I was hoping for more news and gameplay on Yoshi, specifically a release date for that one. But I could see with the Kirby and Donkey Kong, maybe they felt like this was getting too platformer heavy, or they're just not ready to give more on that game yet. That could be the case too. Perhaps Fire Emblem also isn't ready, and I guess that game might get its own dedicated direct. I wouldn't be surprised, as we've already done a Fire Emblem specific direct in the past, so it wouldn't shock me if, down the line they just say, hey, we're doing one direct just on the Fire Emblem game. But yes, I'll agree, no insane blockbusters like Metroid, Pokemon, or the new retro game, whatever that's going to be. I think any one of those games getting featured would have totally turned around people who are saying they're disappointed in this direct. It really just, it didn't have a bombshell moment. But to me, it did its job. I'm not saying I was blown away by the direct, but I wasn't disappointed either. I mentioned I was really excited going into this, and we did get a bunch of info on new stuff coming this year, and some of this stuff I'm excited about. Like I said, Dark Souls, I'm actually pretty pumped to play. I guess I'm more so excited that Tropical Freeze is going to get, more attention, I guess. It's going to be released to a wider fan base because it's one of those games on the Wii U that I'm like, man, I hope this doesn't just go unnoticed, because it's one of the best platformers, certainly one of, if not the best Donkey Kong game. I'll say that. So I hope a lot of people end up checking that out when it does drop. Kirby is another one I was excited for, even though we knew it was coming. knowing that I'm going to be able to actually play it in the next couple months, that was a big deal for me. So there was stuff here that I'm excited for. And I think people forget that Nintendo has been trying to stay focused on the more upcoming stuff. So nothing we saw here was like 2+ years away or anything like that. And it's still January. I think we'll get another Direct probably between now and the E3 Direct. Maybe that will have one of those bombshell type announcements in it, or maybe they're saving them for E3. And I think some of these games might just get their own dedicated Direct as well. I can assure you, the Pokemon game, because I know that's the big one everyone's always talking about, the Pokemon game will probably get, announced during a Direct, like an E3 of Direct, but it will 100% for sure get its own Direct at some point. I guarantee you that. So I liked it fine. Like I said, not blown away, but not disappointed either. And with that, this video is a wrap. Let me know your thoughts on the January 2018 Direct Mini in the comments. As always, I'm John Zakari, and thanks for watching.